Slot's gone. And you were still comparing. The booking page is open. Your preferred time is grayed out. Unavailable. The tab next to it is your spreadsheet. 5 options. No choice. Done column blank. 10 minutes later, a second slot is gone. By Friday, your backup option costs $11 more than it did on Monday. The research was real. The effort was real. It just didn't protect you from any of that. The comparison kept running while the losses were already happening. Go back through the week. Monday. 5 options. Reviews. Notes. Booking page open. Tuesday. Same 5 options. 1 more source. Same conclusion. Wednesday. You check again. Still no choice. Thursday. Another comparison site confirms what you already knew. 1 slot is gone. Friday. Refresh. A second slot is gone. The price on a third option moved up. Your spreadsheet has more inputs than it had on Monday. Your done column still has nothing in it. That's the part to look at. This didn't fall apart because you were lazy. It didn't fall apart because you didn't care. You did the research. You spent the time. You were careful. And the decision still stayed open long enough for the world to change around it. By Wednesday, the information had mostly stopped changing. Same options. Same trade-offs. Same rankings. What kept changing was your state. You were still comparing. Still checking. Still leaving the choice unclosed. And that's where the loop hides. The problem isn't always that you need more information. Sometimes the research finished days ago. What keeps running after that isn't research anymore. It's the decision staying open. And that open state has a cost before any wrong choice does. You can see it clearly. A slot closes. A price moves. A booking window expires. The spreadsheet stays open. The done column stays blank. The activity was real. The carefulness was real. None of it changed the state. And this doesn't just happen with bookings. A product tab has been open for 4 days. Timestamp visible. You compared colors, specs, reviews, return policies. The item is sold out now. The tab is still there. Same structure. An important draft reply. Written Monday. Refined Tuesday. Tweaked Wednesday. Still open. Still unsent. The timely window for that message closed 2 days ago. The draft is still in edit mode. Different objects. Same pattern. The comparison keeps going. The state doesn't change. The world keeps moving anyway. What's underneath all of this is simple. Keeping the decision open feels safer than closing it. As long as it's still open, nothing is final. No option is lost because of something you chose. No mistake is locked in by your hand. Everything still feels reversible, and that feeling gets mistaken for responsibility. It sounds reasonable. I'm being careful. I just want to make sure. I don't want to rush this. I need a little more clarity. That all sounds mature, but look at what actually happened. The slot didn't disappear because you were reckless. It disappeared because time passed, and after the first loss, the loop usually gets stronger, not weaker. You would think losing one option would force a decision. Usually it doesn't. Usually you open the spreadsheet again. Same remaining options. Same notes. Maybe one more source. Maybe one more check. Why? Because the check gives you a little relief. You don't have to close anything yet. You don't have to give anything up yet. You don't have to find out whether choosing would have been fine. So the comparison feels like progress even when nothing changes. And because you never close the decision, the loop never gets disproved. You never collect evidence that a clean commitment would have worked. What you collect instead is this. Another option closed while you were still thinking. That's the first cost. The world moves while your state doesn't. Now the second cost. After the first losses, the next decision feels heavier. There are fewer options left. The stakes feel higher. The choice feels more loaded than it did at the start. So what happens? You compare harder, not better, longer. The next decision takes more time than the first one did. Not because it matters more in reality, because now it feels like more is on the line. And this is where the loop starts training you in the wrong direction. You don't get better at closing. You get better at delaying closure. You get faster at opening tabs, faster at building comparison grids, faster at finding one more source, faster at staying open. The skill getting reinforced is not deciding. It's postponing the moment when the state has to change. That's why the exit gets harder over time. And then the defense hardens too. At first, the carefulness is about this decision, this booking, this purchase, this message. Later, it starts feeling like part of who you are. A careful person doesn't rush. A responsible person checks again. A thorough person doesn't close too early. Now, stopping the comparison doesn't just feel risky. It feels unlike you. That's why this loop survives even when the cost is obvious. The slot is gone, the price moved, the draft is still open, and the comparison still feels justified. So look at the actual problem. More input didn't produce a decision. More time didn't produce a decision. More comparison didn't produce a decision. What's missing is not more information. What's missing is a visible line where the state has to change, a forced close. So make one row, one still open decision, the name of it on the left, a real deadline next to it, not soon, a real date, done cell blank on the right. Until that deadline, add no more research. At the deadline, one of two things happens. You mark it done, or you leave the blank visible. That's it. One row, one deadline, one done mark. No new system, no mindset talk, no extra comparison round. Dressed up as preparation. Because what has been missing here is not more thinking. It's a visible point where open has to become closed. There's something still open on your screen right now. It's been open across more than one session. What changed in the world while you kept it open?